Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through the 5D notes on continuous data. At the end of this, you should be able to create a histogram to represent continuous group data, and then also you should be able to choose a good interval to create interval data and a frequency table. Okay? So, first thing to talk about is continuous data. We've talked about this already, but just to kind of remind you, it's numerical data which has values within a continuous range. Remember, like the depth of a hole, how long your hair is, something like that, that could have an infinite amount of possible measurements. Okay? So, with that, a histogram is simply a column graph that's used to represent continuous group data. There are no gaps between columns in a histogram like this here because the data is continuous, unlike a column graph, which we have used before. So again, we've done column graphs before where there's little gaps in between all of those, but since it's continuous data, it doesn't have any gaps in between. And again, the difference between those two is it's a histogram is used for the continuous data. Okay? So, with that, we also have one other little thing to talk about. With continuous data, the class interval could also be referred to as the interval data. But again, just in case you hear interval data, it's basically the same thing as the class interval. Same idea. Okay? Let's take a look at an example. Alright, this is example 2 from page 121. So it has the time it takes in minutes, ignoring seconds, for Scruffy the Sloth to eat his pickled praying mantis and punky porridge. That's a punky, by the way. In the morning on a given day is as follows. So these are all this is how long it takes him in minutes to eat his pickled porridge every morning. Okay? So first thing we're going to do is organize the data on a frequency table, and then we're going to draw a histogram to represent the data. So first let's organize the data on a frequency table. So taking a look at this here, we have, let's see, we're all the way down from 4 up to, what is it, 69? Is that that looks like the biggest number that it goes up to. So let's do intervals of 10, and away we go. Okay, so let's do this time interval, and then we will have our tally, and then we'll also have our frequency. Okay, so okay, so our time interval. So we're going to start from 0, and we're going to go to all the way up to, but not including 10. So here's how you actually write it. You just write 0 up to, and then you actually leave that blank. And you write the next interval from 10 to blank. Because this is saying from 0 to wherever the next interval, so it's 0 all the way up to 10. So 9.99999 repeating is basically what that's getting at. So this is how you write it. And so we're going to do the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60. And we can even leave the 60 with the minus there. That just means 60 and above is what that means. Okay? So let's quickly tally these up and see what we have. We've got 5, 4, and 7 are all our 0 to 9s. Let's find all of our 10s. So there's 1, 2, 3. 3 for that too. And then in the 20s we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so really if you think about it, you wouldn't, just says on a frequency table. We don't even really need to have this tally piece here. We can just do the frequency like we were doing here, because we're just going through and crossing them off and counting them. So like on the 30s, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So this part here you don't really truly need to do if you're crossing them off like we're doing there. You just really need this piece. But we've already started it, so we might as well finish. 40s, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no numbers left in the bottom, so just 4 for 40. 50s, there's 150. And then for the 60s, we just have 2 of those. So there is our frequency table. Okay, so now we can draw a histogram to represent this data, and again, that's where this frequency table comes in very handy. So let's draw our axes here. So we'll start obviously at 0, and then we're going to want to go in increments of 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, up to 70. Alright? And then this way we're going to have our frequency. Again, it goes up to 10. This is our frequency. And so then let's maybe do 5, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so that's pretty good. And again, down here, this is the time in minutes. So time in minutes down there. And then again, this is the frequency over here. So this is, we really should give these titles. So let's give it a title of how long to eat porridge. Okay. So let's do our first set. So from 0 to 10, we have 3. So we're going up here to 3, and then we can just, let's make this in a different color just for fun. So from 0 up to 3, go over to 10, and go down. For 10, it's also 3 from 10 to 20, so again we make this continuous. So we go from 10 down over to 20. For 20, we go all the way up to 10, so we use that edge of that graph. Ooh. Go over and then down to 30. From 30 to 40, we're up at 7, so there is 7 about right here. Ugh. Close enough. And then 40 is at 4, so that's about right here. From 40 to 50. And then 50 to 60 is only 1. So take that. And then 70, sorry, from 60 to 70, or 60 and above, is 2. So we put that up here to about 2 and over, and we are done. Alright, so that's all there is for 5D. So now you should be able to create a histogram to represent continuous group data, and you should also be able to choose a good interval to create interval data and frequency table. Alright, thanks so much. If you have questions, feel free to ask.